after. I'm not after perfection. I'm after the
energy of things. Yeah.
Emotional delivery, as long as it's delivered in a really good way. Okay, let's try this. So I'm gonna go through the chain that I intend to use for rhythm guitars. There are a few contenders here. It's gonna be a choice between the diesel lamp, VH4 up here. We also have this bad boy down here, Mesa Boogie dual rectifier. It's an old 2-channel. This is like a pre-500 version, which means that it's one of the first 500 copies ever made. This one is Revision C, Rev C. It is one of my absolutely favorite amps. It's so dirty and nasty and gritty, and it just sits so well in the mix. Maybe, I don't know, 70% of the productions that I've done has some sort of rectifier in there. That's how much I like them. We are also gonna try a third option. It's this baby boy here. It's called Sub-Zero 100 from MLC. It's a Polish like boutique kind of company. We will see. I'm gonna try all three of them, and that is not only my choice, will also be a discussion with the artist Ihsahn in this case, to see what works the best. A little bit of a trick that I usually do is I try to focus the artist against the amp choice. I don't want them to be too involved in the cabinet choice or how to work with the cabinet, because 80% of the sound, in my opinion, is in the cab and the miking. So I want that to be dialed in a way that I gonna be able to work forward without constantly having to, you know, go in and EQ and do stuff there. Here is the cab room at the Fascination Street Studios. As you can see, I have a selection here. There are more cabs in other rooms. I would tend to bring them in as I need them. As you can see here, they are actually like built into the wall or flush mounted. And there's a practical reason for that, of course. You get more space left in the room. But there is also an acoustical reason, and that is the fact that if you place a speaker or subwoofer or something close to the wall, you will get a better low-end return from it. Because the more you take it away from one wall, you will have the low end reflecting back, because the low end is like omni in its directional spread, whatever. I would say that my favorite cabinet for rhythm guitar is not like the, you know, $1 million question exactly. It is probably this one. It's a Mesa rectifier, oversized, with the vintage 30s. This one is from early 2000, maybe 2004, 5 or something, which is a good year for these as well. Similar to other places here in the studio, there is a patch. From here I can patch the speaker cables. So here I have my speaker cables from my main control room, and I can patch it into the different cabinets. So they are basically running as short as they can be from behind here down into the cabinets. And then I would patch my microphones in here, and I would get them in the cross patch and select whatever preamps I want to use. We have the 57. I have two versions of it. One that has a modified transformer sold by Mercenary Audio, which is basically a little bit more high-end transformer, which makes the low end and also high end a little bit more flat in that one. And then I have one just regular stock 57 as well. The 57s can sound fairly different though, so depending on the year and even between different batches, they can tend to sometimes be a little off. So it's always good maybe to have a few different and try them out. All the ones that I'm using here have gone through the filter, so to speak. I also have a really old version of the 57, Unidyne 3 545, it's called. This has been a really good microphone for a snare drum for me over the years. I've more recently started to try it out on guitars, so I'm gonna do that for today. Then I have a modified SM7. You can see here that I've simply cut the grill out of this one, because this is a really nice guitar amplifier microphone. It's like a great microphone. You could hear it on our vocal session, how good it sounded next to the U67, which is a fantastic condenser microphone. Never rule out the SM7, but in order to get it close enough to the grill, at least where I think it usually sounds the best, there are issues with the long grill. You would basically have to deplace or place the other microphones further away in order to get into phase. If you record all these individually, maybe that's fixable in the mixing, but I don't like to do it like that. I prefer going with a sound that works. I also tend to not record all the microphones. I'm of the old school, usually, or I've always been like sub-mixing my microphones on the desk, making sure it's in phase and they have a good sound. I am gonna record a DI in parallel just in case I would have to go into a reamp situation, but I would say 98% of the times when I commit to something during production, that will stick also during mixing. If I try to do reamping and mixing, I would actually sort of start to hear the small degradations in the signal that you get from that reamp process compared to just plugging a guitar in. We're gonna double track this fellow here. We start with the Mesa.
We're doing the same riff and then swapping amps, doing the second part.
Yeah. Absolutely, because both while you have it fresh, in mind, but there could also be changes that we need to do to the sound for the next riff. So I usually like to commit that to tape. So
absolutely.
Yeah, let's do this.
Want to retune?
Yeah, I want to check the tuning. It seemed to hold really well, actually. I have to under-tune this a little bit. Okay, so one question. You are... do you enter into this part before? Because every time we played it now, you've done a little juju.
That just gets to get into rhythm.
Yeah, okay. So not intentionally, as in we're actually doing that, because that could be a thing. I sort of liked it at times when you did it, but. I'm gonna record it just in case, if it gets cool, and if you want to do it, then do it. I'm just gonna crank the DI level just a tiny bit here. What I'm looking for here, especially if it's within the playability, so to speak, is to try to, do a few takes and hopefully end up with one take that feels that's really good. And if that's not happening, I could also, come together, and I might also revisit this, but I don't want to slow down the process by putting myself into editing if I don't have to.
Of course.
So I might go back and clean up a few things if needed. But I'm not after perfection. I'm after the
energy of things.
Emotional delivery, as long as it's delivered in a really good way. Okay, let's try this. good stuff.
The first part wasn't too bad, but the last part was pretty bad.
You missed the that
Yeah,
little arpeggio in the very end there. Maybe I could do it like this. I'm just gonna mute out those parts from this take and
Can I have another pass?
yeah,
This side?
exactly. Let's do one more pass and then we can see if we
Okay, sure.
let's do it. When I record different parts in a production, I would usually try to have some sort of map laid out. It could be like a diagram with the check boxes or something. In this case, we had a pretty good pre-production from the demo. I got all the demo tracks from Ihsahn. And I guess I've used them as my map a little bit to remember what parts to do. And in a few cases also to listen to it to see where we were at the demo stage. If there's something we better not forget or or it's obvious that we can improve something else maybe. Should we try one more pass or?
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. And then I think we already have so much good stuff, so we might as well just see if there's anything we need to improve. But it sounds good. Good second half, man.
Good second half. Yeah.
Really good. First one almost sounded too stale.
Yeah.
Because that's also one reason why I usually prefer to get like little longer passes.
Absolutely.
Because if you start like, fixing everything, it's like, then you overdub and it sounds like it's just standing still. It's like boring to listen to it. I don't think I ever like listened back to a production that I did and regretted that, oh man, I should have edited that a little more.
Yeah.
But I have listened back to some productions that I did that's like, I sucked the energy a little too much out of it. Sometimes you heard a take, you had the click going, acted as percussion, and it eased out things. And then when you listen back, it's like, okay, maybe we need another one. But first half, first take.
It's a bit slow on this second part of the first.
A little bit, but it lives pretty nicely. Let's listen to the second take. Yeah, if we would fix that one, should we try to borrow that one from the first take?
Sure.
Or the last take maybe? Anything else that you, maybe the very start?
I can still hear some like minor things to tweak.
Let's listen to the last take as well. Yeah, and there's some good bits, but
we don't want to be chopping all this stuff, right?
No, preferably not. Then I'd rather take one or two more takes because it's gonna be hard to get an even flow out of it. But you know how it works. Put one more guitar, and everything you thought was maybe a little bit
Iffy, yeah.
It will start to live. For me, we could do like that. We can do the second take, comp that together, and
how about the last part from the last take?
Exactly. Let's listen to that one more time without the click. Yeah, the last take is more interesting, right? It's that beginning that doesn't. Maybe just the two.
Now we're starting.
Yeah. But you know how it goes.
Yeah.
As long as the envision is to. I'm not saying that it's not allowed to fix things. I'm saying that the general aesthetics is still the sense of the full take. Let's listen there.
No, I still feel like it's this kind of it's a very feely riff with all the, you know, hammer-ons and slides and open. So it's, yeah, it's I guess this starting and stopping.
You want? Let's do like that. Listen in context one last time before we overdub or redo. Just want to listen to that pass on the last take we did. Better. And then there was something here in the beginning. Let's listen to the very start on this take. It's nicer, right? First bar, and then it becomes a little late, but if one should be picky. That note holds nicer. I'm gonna use that one. Maybe including. Maybe not. Sorry. Let's take that one from that one. Listen to that passage just on the other takes. Or
I guess, you know, in all fairness, the last one is more precise, and especially since we're overdubbing it and getting all the notes in.
Let's get it. Okay, good. I think we have it. Shall we overdub?
Yeah, you think it's good for overdubbing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna swap over to the MLC. Overdub. Okay, so I'm putting the rectifier in the left channel. When I assess guitar takes and performance produce, like with everything, like with drumming, like with vocals, there is a number of things into play. Most obviously, it could be the timing. It could also be about how the clarity. Maybe sometimes it's just about getting that golden take. Sometimes it's about also making changes in terms of where and how a chord is voiced, for example. Sometimes it's about what pick is used. Maybe we have a part where we have an issue that the sound is adding to, and we need to increase distortion, decrease distortion, stuff like that. But then it's a combination of tuning, timing, like timing over time, like the groove kind of sensation depending on the riff. It's all these things. I usually prefer to, if possible, work more like tape machine style with guitars. It's so boring to do takes and then sitting and comping if you have to do that, everything. Certain aspects like drums, I know that I will get much better results if I do it. Vocals, absolutely. Rhythm guitars, hopefully not. Hopefully we can like lock into takes and do it that way. I still would save like everything we record just in case, and then maybe if we have a problem part, I might, you know, I'm gonna take 5 minutes here and comp this, you go and rest, take a coffee, shit or whatever. I'm working pretty actively with the volume, constantly trying to think about how the balance is sort of perceived by the performer. So here, for example, throughout this take, I was modifying and trying to like find, he can hear himself enough, he can hear the drums enough, so not too loud, and the other guitar, it's usually enough to have that one quite a bit lower, but still will make a pretty significant difference to actually have it in instead of muting it, unless it's a super intricate part and you just get bothered with it. But here it's also important for me to hear a little bit of the other guitar. That's also why I'm sitting here with the other guitar. Previously recorded one quite low in volume. I can still hear it pretty good. Ihsahn can only sense it, and that will be enough to just lock in a little bit.
Much easier to play on the second pass.
Yeah, it is always, yeah.